Good morning, everyone. It is 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and I am Hank Philippi Ryan, and I think I am live here on Facebook and live on Instagram. It is 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and I'm Hank Philippi Ryan here for today's episode of First Chapter Fun, which is astonishingly episode number 89. So I'm here on Instagram. I see it says I'm live on Facebook. If someone will zap me a comment so I know this is really happening, that would be great. That would be great. So nice to see you this morning. Hi, Glennie. Hi, Jen on Instagram. Hi, all of you joining now. I can see the numbers going up on Facebook. That is so nice. I'm here in Boston, where it is 10,000% humidity. So luckily we can be distracted by the wonderful book that we have this morning. JT Ellison, I just see, is joining us on Instagram, and she is the book of the day. Her marvelous Good Girls Lie is our book of the day, and you all are in for a real treat hearing from JT Ellison's wonderful thriller. I'm watching the numbers go up right now. It's so exciting every morning, Tuesday and Thursday at 11:30 a.m. for Hannah Mary McKinnon and I to read you the first chapter of a wonderful, wonderful book. And I see Hannah is live on Instagram, and I don't see any comments yet on Facebook, but we shall see what happens with that. So you never know. This is one of those things. The technology sometimes decides to do something different from what it had done before. And so who knows what we are going to see. That's one of the fun. Oh, Secret Enchanted Pillow says, love your nails. Yes, they're blue today. You got to have a little bit of fun in this crazy world that we're living in. So, and the one good thing about doing your own fingernails is nobody can really see them, right? Nobody can really see. So I'm going to see if Hannah is saying that there are comments on Facebook, but I cannot see them right now. So let's just see if I can make that happen. And let's see, I'm going to click a button and see if something changes now. Comments, we are not seeing the comments. Is this fun or what? Do you love hearing me talk to myself about how I can't see the comments on Facebook? Never a dull moment here on First Chapter Fun. So welcome, welcome, welcome this morning. Welcome to all of you, even though I can't see what you're saying. That is, I'm going to try one more time to see if I can get comments. No comment moderation. No. What can I tell you? So I can't see it this morning. Welcome, everyone. It is Thursday morning at 11:30 a.m. You need to know that, isn't that right, Hannah? This is the last of the 11:30 a.m. appearances. We are starting to go at 12:30. Because Jen is saying the adieu was one of my favorite parts, and JT Ellison is saying she can't see the comments on Facebook either, but we know they're there because someone is seeing them, and this is what we call suspense, right? This is the suspense part, that we wonder what people are saying. So JT Ellison and Hannah Mary McKinnon and I will go back and look at the Facebook comments, we promise, and talk to you on Facebook, or possibly the comments will start showing up. It's so crazy around here today. So anyway, as I was saying, next Tuesday, starting next Tuesday, we will be here at 12:30 p.m., 12:30 p.m., right after noon, every Tuesday and Thursday. Hannah's darling kids have school, and that makes the scheduling a little bit off. So we decided to just, because Hannah's kids have to go to school, what can we do? We will change heaven and earth for that. So luckily, all we have to do is change the time of First Chapter Fun. Jen is asking, can I get a note from you to excuse me from work? Sure, we will write notes for everyone. I know that Hannah and I will have a lot of pull with your boss. So you just let us know what we can do to help. Again, we are here this morning, excuse me, live on, I'm losing my voice. Can that be already? First Chapter Fun at 11:30 a.m., the last of our 11:30 a.m.s, and next week at 12:30 p.m., right afternoon. So instead of your morning coffee, bring a sandwich, bring some iced tea, curl up and have lunch with Hank and Hannah. That seems like a good idea. Today we are going to read for you from Good Girls Lie by J.T. Ellison, who is a brilliant writer and a brilliant friend and a wonderful person. You will love J.T. Ellison if you don't already know her, and if you do know her, you love her already. It's frustrating to have to hold up a picture on my iPad because I have several copies of this book in my house. I love this book. And JT and I had a day or two of touring together, which was really great. She is marvelous in person as well. But of course, I can't find the book. My books are not what you would call organized. They are what you would call stacked in every available surface and bookshelf. And so when I want to find them, I kind of have to visualize where they are. They're not in any order. Yes, JT is saying best tour ever. Remember the Cobb salad. JT and I bonded over our love of Cobb salad. So are your books organized? I wish I could see your comments here, but I'm not. Are your books organized in your house? Can you find them? I eventually have to find them by remembering. It kind of looks like I remember the cover being around there, maybe in the library or on the third floor. I don't know, but anyway, I couldn't find Good Girls Lie, but I do have it, of course, on my iPad. So Hannah says she reorganized hers recently. Can you come over, Hannah? Because I really need that. I hardly know where to start. Anyway, let's start with Good Girls Lie by JT Ellison. Welcome, welcome all of you this morning. And I'm so glad to see so many of you on First Chapter Fun. You know, really quickly, just the boilerplate, if Instagram or Facebook boots us out, we'll come back and start again. JT Ellison is saying she did her shelves in rainbow, which looks great, but she can't find anything. I mean, I know we should have a big talk about the rainbow shelves. It is gorgeous, but it makes sense only in color. And so how do you find anything? Although it's very pretty. And Sharon's saying she puts genres together, and then, which kind of makes sense, but then authors within genres in alphabetical order by first name or last name, or by the title. See, it's complicated, and that's what stops me. That's what stops me every time. I think, oh, I'll just think about that later. Anyway, let's think today about First Chapter Fun, about Good Girls Lie, this marvelous book by JT Ellison, which you will truly love. Let me read you a little bit about JT Ellison quickly. JT Ellison began her career as a presidential appointee in the White House, where a nuclear physicist taught her how to obsess over travel itineraries and make a seriously good pot of Earl Grey, spawning both her love of loose leaf and a desire for control of her own destiny. I know there are lots of stories there. There must be. Jaded by the political climate in D.C., she made her way back to her first love, creative writing. More than 20 novels later, she is an award-winning New York Times and USA Today best-selling author with millions of books in print and is published in 28 countries and 16 languages. She is also the Emmy Award-winning co-host of A Word on Words, a literary interview television show, and co-wrote A Brit in the FBI series with #1 New York Times bestseller Catherine Coulter. She lives in Nashville with her husband and 2 small gray minions known as cats in some cultures. She thinks they're furry aliens. That's probably because that's what they told her, right? The cats told her they were aliens. So she has to do whatever they say. They have her very well trained. Jen says she has to be one of the best handles too. Thriller chick, you know, that is quite amazing. And everyone knows Thriller chick. So with the kind permission of Harlequin Books and the author JT Ellison, let me tell you a little bit about Good Girls Lie, which is out right now, and you can get it right now. Not right now. I mean, you could get it right now, but don't get it right now. Get it after you hear the first chapter or two. Let me tell you a little bit about Good Girls Lie. Perched atop a hill in the tiny town of Marchburg, Virginia, the good girl, the Goode School, I'm going to start over. Did you hear my husband just go outside? I can hear the door opening and closing, and now the person in the backyard is, I can see through the window, getting ready to mow the lawn. So that will be an extra added attraction. So, Good Girls Lie, which you can get, which is on sale right now. Perched atop a hill in the tiny town of Marchburg, Virginia, the Goode School is a prestigious prep school known as a Silent Ivy. The boarding school of choice for daughters of the rich and influential, it accepts only the best and brightest. Its elite status, long-held traditions, and honor code are ideal for preparing exceptionally young women for brilliant futures at Ivy League universities and beyond. But a stranger has come to Goode, and this ivy has turned poisonous. In a world where appearances are everything, as long as students pretend to follow the rules, no one questions the cruelties of the secret societies or the dubious behavior of the privileged young women who expect to get away with murder. But when a popular student is found dead, the truth cannot be ignored. Rumors suggest she was struggling with a secret that drove her to suicide. But look closely. There are truths and there are lies, and then there is everything that really happened. J.T. Ellison's pulse-pounding new novel examines the tenuous bonds of friendship, the power of lies, and the desperate lengths people will go to protect their secrets. Okay, how good does that sound? That is a real J.T. Ellison introduction, and a real introduction to how J.T. Ellison's books are. Everyone is different and everyone is fantastic. And I see the hearts coming up on Instagram. I still can't see the Facebook posts. I mean, you all, I know you're commenting like crazy, and I promise JT and Hannah and I will come back and look at all those comments. I wish I could acknowledge you as we always do, but I know you're all here, and I embrace you with open arms for J.T. Ellison's Good Girls Lie. So let me tell you quickly, I'm going to read 2 chapters because the chapters are quite short, and it's going to be wonderful for you to hear a little, chapter 1 and then chapter 2, because they are quite different. So let me read to you now from the first 2 chapters of Good Girls Lie by J.T. Ellison. Chapter 1, The Hanging. The girl's body dangles from the tall iron gates guarding the school's entrance. A closer examination shows the ends of a red silk tie peeking out like a cardinal on a winter branch, forcing her neck into a brutal angle. She wears her graduation robe and multicolored stole as if knowing she'll never see the achievement. The last tendrils of dawn's fog laze about her legs, which are about 5 feet from the ground. It rained overnight, and the thin robe clings to her body, dew sparkling on the edges. There is no breeze, no birds singing or squirrels industriously gathering for the long winter ahead, no cars passing along the street. Only the cool, misty morning air and the gentle metallic creaking of the gates under the weight of the dead girl. She is suspended in midair, her back to the street, her face hidden behind a curtain of dark, wet hair, darker from the rains. Because of the damage to her face, it will take them some time to officially identify her in the beginning. It isn't even clear she attends the school, despite wearing the Goode School robes. But she does. The fingerprints will prove it. Of course, there are a few people who know exactly who is hanging from the school's gates, know who and know why, but they will never tell. As word spreads of the apparent suicide, the Goode School's all-female student body begin to gather, paying silent, terrified homage to their fallen compatriot. The gates are closed and locked, as they always are overnight, buttressed on either side by an ivy-colored 10-foot-high red brick wall, but it tapers off into a knee wall near the back entrance to the school parking lot, and so is escapable by foot. The girls of Goode silently filter out from the dorms around the end of Old West Hall and Old East Hall to Front Street, the main street of Marchburg, the small Virginia town housing the elite prep school, and take up their positions in front of the gate, a wedge of crying, scared, worried young women who glance over their shoulders looking for the one who is missing from their ranks, to reassure themselves this isn't their friend, their sister, their roommate. Another girl joins them, but no one notices she comes from the opposite direction, from town. She was not behind the red brick wall. Whispers rise in the morning air, nothing loud enough to be overheard, but forming a single question. Who is it? Who? A solitary siren pierces the morning air, the sound bleeding upward from the bottom of the hill, a rising crescendo. Someone has called the sheriff. Goode perches like a gargoyle above the city's small downtown, huddles behind its ivy-colored brick wall. The campus is flanked by 2 blocks of restaurants, bars, and necessary shops. The buildings are tied together with trolleys, enclosed glass and wood bridges that make it easy for the girls to move from building to building in climate-controlled comfort. It is quiet, dignified, isolated. As are the girls who attend the school, serious, studious, good. Good girls are always good. They go on to great things. The headmistress, or dean as she prefers to call herself, Ford Julianne Westhaven, great-granddaughter several times removed from the founder of the Goode School, arrives in a flurry, her driver braking the family Bentley with a screech 100 feet away from the gates. The crowd in the street blocks the car, and for a moment the sight of the dangling girl. No one stops to think why the dean might be off campus this early in the morning. Not yet, anyway. Dean Westhaven rushes out of the back of the dove-gray car and runs to the crowd, her face white, lips firmly pressed together, eyes roving. It is a look all the girls at Goode recognize and shrink from. The dean's irritability is legendary, outweighed only by her kindness. It is said she alone approves every application to the school, that she chooses the good girls by hand for their intelligence, their character. Her say is final, absolute. But for all her goodness, her compassion, her kindness, Dean Westhaven has a temper. She begins to gather the girls into groups, small knots of natural blondes and brunettes and redheads, no fantastical dye allowed. Some shiver in oversized school sweatshirts and running shorts. Some are still in their pajamas. The dean is looking for the chick missing from her flock. She casts occasional glances over her shoulder at the grim scene behind her. She, too, is unsure of the identity of the body, or so it seems. Perhaps she simply doesn't want to acknowledge the truth. The siren grows to an ear-splitting shriek and dies mid-range, a soprano nearly castrated. The deputies from the sheriff's office have arrived, the sheriff hot on their heels. Within moments, they cordon off all the gates, move the student back, away, away. One approaches the body, cataloging. Another begins taking discreet photographs, a macabre paparazzi. They speak to Dean Westhaven, who quietly, breathlessly admits she hasn't approached the body and has no idea who it might be. She is lying, though. She knows. Of course she knows. It was inevitable. The sheriff, 6 sturdy feet of muscle and sinew, approaches the gate and takes a few shots with his iPhone. He reaches for the foot of the dead girl and slowly, slowly turns her around. The eerie morning silence is broken by words, soft and gasping murmurs moving sinuously through the crowd of girls, their feet shuffling in the morning chill, the fog's tendrils disappearing from around the posts. They say her name, an unbroken chain of accusation and misery. Ash, ash, ash. Should I go on? Do you want to hear chapter 2? Yes, of course you do. You want to hear chapter 2? Okay, chapter 2. Chapter 2 is called, the title of chapter 2 is The Lies. There are truths and there are lies, and then there is everything that really happened, which is where you and I will meet. My truth is your lie, and my lie is your truth, and there is a vast expanse between them. Take, for example, Ash Carlisle. 6 feet tall, glowing skin, a sheaf of blonde hair in a ponytail. She wears black jeans with rips in the knees and a loose green and white plaid button-down with white Adidas Stan Smiths. Casual, efficient traveling clothes. A waiter delivers a fresh cup of tea to her nest in the British Airways first-class lounge, and when she smiles her thanks, he nearly drops his tray. So pure and happy is that smile, the smile of an innocent. Or not so innocent. You'll have to decide that for yourself. Soon. She's perfected that smile, by the way, practiced it, stood in the dingy bathroom of the flat on Broad Street and watched herself in the mirror, lips pulling back from her teeth over and over and over again until it becomes natural, until her eyes sparkle and deep dimples appear in her cheeks. It is a full-toothed smile, her teeth straight and blindingly white, and combined with the china blue eyes and naturally streaked blonde hair, it is devastating. Isn't this what a sociopath does? Works on their camouflage? What better disguise is there than an open, thankful, gracious smile? It's an exceptionally dangerous tool in the right hands. And how does a young sociopath end up flying first class, you might ask? You'll be assuming her family comes from money naturally, but let me assure you, this isn't the case. Not at all. Not really. Not anymore. No, the dean of the school sent the ticket. Why? Because Ash Carlisle leads a charmed life and somehow managed to hoodwink the dean not only into paying her way, but to paying for her studies this first term as well. A full scholarship based upon her exemplary intellect, piano playing, and sudden extraordinary need. Such a shame she lost her parents so unexpectedly. Yes, Ash is smart. Smart and beautiful and talented and capable of murder. Don't think for a moment she's not. Don't let her fool you. Sipping the tea, she types and thinks, stops to chew on a nail, then reads it again. The essay she is obsessing over gained her access to the prestigious elite school she is shipping off to. The challenges ahead, transferring to a new school, especially one as impossible to get into as the Goode School, frighten her, excite her, make her more determined than ever to get away from Oxford, away from her past. A new life, a new beginning, a new chapter for Ash. But can you ever escape your past? Ash sets down her tea, and I can tell she is worrying again about fitting in. Marchburg, Virginia, population 500 on a normal summer day, which expands to 700 once the students arrive for term, is a long way from Oxford, England. She worries about fitting in with the daughters of the DC elite, daughters of senators and congressmen and ambassadors and reporters and the just plain filthy rich. She can rely on her looks. She knows how pretty she is. She isn't vain about it exactly, but she knows she's more than acceptable on the look scale, and on her intelligence, her exceptional smarts. Some would say cunning, but I think this is a disservice to her. She's both book smart and street smart, the rarest of combinations. Despite her concerns, if she sticks to the story, she will have no issues. The only strike against her, of course, is me. But no one knows about me. No one can ever know about me. Okay, yay, are you applauding? I know I can't see your comments on Facebook yet, but I know you're applauding, and I know you're applauding on Instagram. Is that not so perfectly suspenseful? You know, what a voice, what, and Tracy is saying, love a good sociopath in fiction. That is true. Yeah, you know, you set the scene, you set a tone, you set a voice, and Ellison, J.T. Ellison does that just so perfectly, because it feels like you know what you're reading and it makes sense, but there's some element of undercurrent, some element of subtext and uncertainty, and you know that something is being held back from you, but we don't exactly know what. And that is the skill of J.T. Ellison. She does it every time. It's interesting because when I teach writing classes, sometimes I say there's a difference between suspense and confusion. You don't want the reader to be confused. You want them to be intrigued. And there's still a way of being incredibly suspenseful, but being fair. And that's what J.T. Ellison does every single time. And to great, wonderful effect in Good Girls Lie, the book you just heard. The first 2 chapters are bonus chapters because they're so short. And I just wanted you to hear that chilling second chapter as well. So now I hope you are hooked on J.T. Ellison's Good Girls Lie, and you will run to pick that up right now. J.T., thank you so much for being with us today. It's such a treat to read a book that you love out loud, and also such a responsibility to know that, you know, this is what you worked on for a year, and Hannah Mary McKinnon and I reading every Tuesday and Thursday. Want to make sure that we really do justice to your wonderful book. Diana saying, great book. Yes, it is. Glennie and Jen Jumba And Thriller Chick, JT Ellison is saying, I'm applauding you. What a reading. Thank you. Well, you know how much I love this book, and you know how thrilled I am to be able to read it today. So again, if you have questions for JT Ellison, where did she get the idea of the boarding school? Why does it seem so familiar? How did she use her experiences in Washington, D.C. to make this story really come to life? She will answer your questions on Facebook, because here on Instagram, Sharon is saying chills, yay. Because on Instagram, everything disappears. The minute we put this on IGTV, which we do here on Instagram to save the stories, all of your wonderful comments disappear, which is ridiculous, but that's the way it is. On Facebook, though, the comments stay, and that is wonderful. So add your comments, add your questions. Hannah Mary McKinnon and I will come chat with you, since I can't see the comments today, crazily. JT Ellison will, of course, come and answer your questions. We are so thrilled to have you all in this community here on Facebook and here on Instagram. And we have so many wonderful more chapters to read to you. It's just really exciting and wonderful when the email comes and people agree to have us read their books or ask us to have us read their books. It's really a joy and really an honor and really a responsibility, and especially so that all of you are here hearing them with us. So next week, next Tuesday at 12:30 p.m., 12:30, not 11:30, Rick Mafina, the fabulous Rick Mafina, a fellow reporter, a fellow journalist with me in Canada. He is in Canada and I'm in Boston. This is his millionth book. I don't even remember how many books he's written, but this is his terrific thriller called The Dying Hour, where we are introduced to a new young reporter. This is you will meet a new young reporter in this book. And so Hannah will be here reading this on Tuesday, and we will be here celebrating Rick Mafina's The Dying Hour. So thank you again for hearing JT Ellison's Good Girls Lie. Run right out and get the book, and now you can. JT is saying Rick is a wonderful writer and friend to us all. Yes, he really is. He's such a good guy, so authentic, so the genuine article, and it's really fun to talk about journalism and writing and thrillers with him. So I hope you will all come back, bring your friends. There's always room for another listener or two or three or thousands here on First Chapter Fun, and Hannah Mary McKinnon and I welcome you all. So we will see you next Tuesday. We will remind you at 12:30 p.m. lunchtime with Hank and Hannah. 12:30 p.m. EST. We will see you right here. Until then, stay safe, stay kind, and love you so much. Take care.